Good afternoon to everybody around the world. My name is Nawaf Nafisi, and yours truly, Coach Ali Kareem, the boxing doctor. Today, we're going to have our particular podcast talking about a lot of topics, especially within the boxing landscape of 2026. I'll leave it off to my partner in crime to lead us to the first topic. Ali, what do you think of 2026 in terms of boxing in particular?
Well, I believe we're in the golden age of boxing at this time. There's people talk about, Muhammad Ali's Joe Frazier at that time was the golden age, but I think we are in terms of experiencing. I'm not talking about the skill level. I think even in terms of skill level, it's going up. The fighters, when fighters don't fight the best fighters, they tend not to compete at a high level. It's just how human nature is. To get the best out of any athlete, they need to compete against the best. So right now, we are going to see. We have been seeing 2025 amazing fights. Thanks to Turkey Alashek from Saudi Arabia. You know, he has invested so much with the Riyadh seasons, putting all these amazing fights, and we won't be able to watch this these amazing fights without uh, his investments that he put into this boxing game, right?
Right.
And due to that, a lot of the fighters are able to come together. Yes, the first thing is financial situation, right? That's why over the years, fights like Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao didn't happen. It took years for it to happen, right? Both fighters has to be happy. Promotional companies has to happy. But right now, Turkey Alashek is bringing both. He's bringing all the promotional companies to come and work together. Um, let's. I'll start off by that. 2026 is starting. You tell me, what fights are you interested to watch?
Well, before we get into the fights, there are a few notions that I want to take into consideration, especially the recent accident that happened with AJ losing his two best friends, Sina and Abdulatif, Kevin Abdulatif. Our condolences to those who lost their lives and their families. Wallah yarhamhum, yaghfir muslim al-jannah, wa yasabbirhum ala faraqah. But at the same time, speedy recovery to AJ. I wanted to also take the time to actually wish everybody a healthy 2026 and away from any type of travesty and tragic, especially the fact that I had the chance to meet Abdulatif personally during AJ's second fight against Usyk in Jeddah. And what his friends speak about him and what they share about him is all very true and more. Warm-hearted, good-hearted person, very welcoming. Shook his hand and really wanted to meet him again to get to know him on a personal level because of his transition and his conversion to Islam and his dedication to always having a healthy mindset. Hence his Instagram page, Healthy Mindset. What a guy to learn from. He will be dearly missed, as well as Cena. And we wish AJ a speedy recovery. Whenever he's ready to come back into the scene, he should come back to the scene, but fully recovered and ready. He should not be rushed. He should not be attracted towards any type of offers of terms of fighting until he's mentally ready and physically ready. That's the one thing I wanted to mention. To answer your question about upcoming fights that I truly am excited about, we discussed this before. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson, that's something to look at. You mentioned to me as well the Josh Kelly fight versus the new upcoming fighter who's been avoided, as you mentioned to me before. So those are two exhilarating fights. I also would like to later on talk about the possibility between Oleksandr Usyk and Deontay Wilder, because to me that's a fight that pegs that Alexander Usyk in his mindset is thinking like, well, this is a devastating departure. Still, who I would like to have on my record as someone that I beat as well for my own legacy. But I think we should start off with Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, two very talented, fast, technical fighters who I think it's going to be an exciting match on the 31st. And it's going to be hosted by DAZN, if I'm not mistaken. So how about we talk about that one in particular?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to say the same thing. First of all, Inna lillahi wa inna raji'un. for the
I mean,
brothers who passed away. Yes, I also got to meet Brother Latif, very kind-hearted person. And I just, I pray that God makes it easy for his family and his loved ones. It's a very, very difficult time for the families for in this difficult situation. So we pray for everybody to have patience and also for their privacy because it's a very difficult time. Yeah.
it is. It
Moving
is.
forward, um, you were speaking about Josh Kelly and Bakhram Murtazaliev.
Okay, you want to
Um,
start off with that fight first? Okay, let's do that.
yes, I would like to start about. Yeah, I apologize, but I have to talk about Bakhram Murtazaliev. Oh my God. My first time saw Bakhram Murtazaliev, which was a year from now, I believe, when he fought Tim Tszyu.
Okay.
And Tim Tszyu is a very, very uh, tough fighter, and the way he dismantled Tim Tszyu was just was crazy. So Tim Tszyu came back and had a rematch with he had a rematch recently with what's his name? Can you just look it up? Tim Tszyu's last fight.
Yeah. We've got
Yeah,
Katasuya's son, I believe.
no, no. Tim Tszyu had a rematch with a
Oh, but
fighter that.
he is Katasuya's son. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. But he just won his last fight, and before that fight, he lost.
You're
Okay.
you're right. He lost because in 19th of July 2025 for the WBC light middleweight title, he lost against Sebastian Fundora. Apparently,
Yeah,
he retired in the seventh round out of originally 12th,
that's right. Yeah.
and then he came back in December 17th in the TikTok Entertainment Center in Sydney, Australia, where he won a 10-round unanimous decision against Anthony Velasquez.
Yes, that's right. So he lost against Pandora, and that was a rematch. Okay, like Pandora fight was hard.
He the
Now,
first time he lost it was the first time he faced Sebastian was in a loss in a split decision of a 12 rounder in March 30th, 2024 in the United
hmm,
States in T-Mobile Arena in Nevada, and he lost the WBO light middleweight title. And definitely he actually there was a vacancy of WBC light middleweight title, and he wasn't able to attain that as well. But please go ahead, tell me.
yeah, yeah, that's right. No, I appreciate your info. It just makes the conversation more smooth moving forward.
Mhm.
Um, so Tim Tszyu, he fought against. I apologize. The fighter that he lost to had the rematch.
Yeah, the
What's
fighter
his
that
what's
he lost to
Fandora?
against the
Fandora,
rematch
yes.
is Sebastian Fundora. Yes.
Yes, Fandora. So Fandora is actually a very difficult fighter. Very awkward, really tall. He lost against him in a rematch, and then he lost to um, Bakhram Murtazaliev. And when I watched the fight, I didn't know who was Bakhram Murtazaliev, and I was really, really shocked. The way Bakhram Murtazaliev was fighting. He didn't just fight with heart. Um, he was like a tank. He was just running over Tim Tszyu. So I believe because what happened was Tim Tszyu after that fight he came back, had that rematch. Then he lost that rematch. Then he went on and he fought against his last fight that he just won recently, right?
Mhm.
Could you mention his opponent's name? His last fight,
Velasquez, who was
Velasquez.
basically
Yeah.
Anthony Velasquez. He beat him in
Yes,
a
that's right.
unanimous decision.
Yes, yes. So it's good that he won, but the opponent that he fought against also the skill level is not that high. Okay,
Okay.
we wish Tim Tszyu nothing but the best and success because I love actually watching Tim Tszyu because he's an exciting fighter. He fights with heart.
Hmm.
Putting that aside, I really love watching since he beat Timzu Mortazili. So Mortazili, he hasn't fought like over a year now because all the fighters, I believe, after seeing their performance, they stayed away from it. Because what's the risk? Like it's a high risk fighting this guy. What are you gonna get out of this? You understand?
They're basically ducking him because
They're ducking him.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so the person that stood up and said, "I will fight him," is Josh Kelly. So the fight is taking place where is it taking place?
And Newcastle, actually.
Newcastle. Yeah.
Newcastle. The arena is called Utilita Arena on the January 31st in Newcastle. They're gonna be
Very
fighting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting that Josh Kelly. One thing about this fight, upper hand for Josh Kelly, it's happening in the UK. For Bakhram Murtazaliev, he is flying to the UK because he's not from the UK. He's
No,
flying
he's
to the
Russian.
UK. Yeah, so now the adjustment he has to make is he has to come earlier, get used to the climate and everything, that environment. But this is a big test for, I believe, Josh Kelly. Um, the thing is, in going into this fight, what's pros and cons? Josh Kelly, he has been more active, and then if you just look at Josh Kelly's record, and you can see his recent fights, and then look
Mhm.
at Bakhram Murtazaliev and when he fought, so you can understand the time span Bakhram Murtazaliev didn't fight. He had an excellent fight, and that's the only fight that was really huge, and people actually got to know who's Bakhram Murtazaliev. And Tim Zoo's name was bigger. But since that time, Bakhram Murtazaliev has not fought over a year. But Tim Zoo moved forward and had fights. So the thing is, what's the upper hand in the situation for Josh Kelly? That he has been inactive. So I think Josh Kelly is looking at that perspective that he has been inactive, and I can take advantage of this. Maybe he'll come in rusty.
But we're not
But
talking about just any fighter. We're talking about a fighter who's 5'11", 153 to 174 pounds, 31 years old, which means he's in his prime, and he has that Russian mentality of a work ethic to stay fresh. His fight against Tim Tszyu, he was throwing very structured, very chopping shots. Even
yeah,
the inside hook, in
yeah,
particular, carries a lot of power because of his heavy hands. So that's not
yeah.
something to take lightly. You may say the inactivity can play a huge role, but I think this particular fighter knows how to stay fresh during a long period of time.
Oh, I totally agree with you, and it's gonna be a huge upset. Um, and you know why I would say this is, Josh Kelly will win this fight, but also this fight that is happening. I love the British boxing fans. I gotta tell everyone, I love the British boxing fans. The reason why, they're not biased. Boxing rules and regulations started from the UK. I think that's what the passion of boxing is so high in the British boxing people's veins. But yeah, Josh Kelly, sorry, Mortazeli going to the UK, and hopefully, if he beats Josh Kelly, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna win the hearts of the British boxing fans.
The-
As you can see, I became a huge fan of Bakhram Murtazaliev after watching his performance, and it's just not that was a phenomenal performance that he put on. And if I, as a boxing fan, and someone who's a student of the sport, watching it, the same kind of performance, I would just be, I would be there for just more than an entertainment. It would be, I'm in school learning also, right?
his
Um,
his check hook is devastating. I mean, looking at the
yeah,
highlights and looking at the counters, because at one point in the third round, you could see that Tim is just basically trying to pressure him on the ropes, and then just one check hook caught him and
Yeah,
dropped him silly. It was this man carries a lot of power, and his timing is quite unique.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
Josh
thing
is gonna have
about
a challenge.
Tim Zoo, he does not give up. And
Hmm.
so like guys like Derek Chisora. Like, how do you hate on a fighter who keeps coming back and working hard, even though if they have a few losses, but they came back and they bounced back up, and hopefully they will be on the on the winning streak again, and that's what makes even the losers winners, because just because you lose today doesn't mean you cannot win, right? And I
I agree.
love about the mentality of fighters who can, okay, I lost one, I lost twice, three times. So what? It was maybe whatever it was, they adjusted themselves and they started coming back up. And yeah, this would be good for. And let's talk about also the same day. I actually didn't realize till I was speaking to you before the podcast. Josh Kelly versus Bakhram Murtazaliev, and one of the most anticipated fights, uh, opening of 2026 is, I'll let you say it to the people.
Oh, the opening of 2026 in terms of well, you have Teofimo Lopez versus
Yeah,
Shakur
yeah,
Stevenson. That's
yeah,
something to
same
look
day.
forward to. And it's the same
Yeah,
day, so it's on the
yeah, that's
31st.
what I'm saying. Yes, yes, yes.
And that's an insane fight because Teofimo, he only had one loss to his name against George Kambosos Jr., but he'd come back with 6 wins. Yeah, and some of the
Yeah,
Pedro Campa technical knockouts, Sandor Martin, Josh Taylor. He was able to beat Josh Taylor and won the WBO.
yeah,
Jermaine Ortiz, Steve Calagat, and Arnold Barbosa Jr. So he's on a good roll so far, and I feel for Teofimo because he's been through tough times, and Teofimo is a fantastic fighter, also with heavy hands. He's 5'8", but he hits hard. He hits hard like
yeah.
crazy. So
Uh, you
what do you
know,
think? What do you think of that fight against Shakur Stevenson? How do you feel about that?
yeah. There's some perspectives we have to look into it. Um, some people think like Shakur Stevenson will be exposed. I don't think so. I think the chances are that Shakur Stevenson's defense will be higher.
Okay.
He'll protect himself in more than that he usually does, because he knows he's facing someone who has a knockout ratio, right? And one thing about Shakur Stevenson, he doesn't really care what the you know people think about
Opposing
him.
opponent. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go 12 rounds if it's necessary. He's gonna fight how he wants to and what benefits him, right? Uh,
Great.
Not everybody is a Mike Tyson, going there, or Deontay Wilder kind of fight. People going, they love that. And the thing about Deontay Wilder was, later he realized who he was, and he was able to sell himself being the Bronx Bomber and speaking loud and all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff adds layers to boxing, and helps promoters promote you, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and the same thing with Mike Tyson. And if you look at Tyson, he didn't speak as much as a lot of fighters like Nassim Ahmed and legendary Muhammad Ali did. What thing special was Mike Tyson? He was knocking people out, right?
And until
Uh,
he gets angry, then he starts talking. That's the difference.
yeah, and when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, one of his biggest win was against Lomachenko,
Oh
and
yes, that's the Lomachenko. That's true.
whatever you want to say, people talk about uh, um, weight cutting and different stuff. When someone gets into a fight and fights that opponent, I don't want to hear any excuses. They are there together to fight, and that's what the fight is all about. And we're gonna judge them between that skill level and that weight class they have chosen to fight in. Now,
What about? Well, I can counter that. Well, what about the second fight between Conor Ben and Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. What did you think of that?
no, no,
Because he
yeah,
looked like a shell of himself. I'm not trying to take anything away from Conor. I think Conor
yes,
really elevated his fight game. I thought he deserved to win, but
absolutely, yes.
Chris was tired after round one. I've never seen that.
And I think
Is
no,
that
no,
past his prime or is it cutting weight? Which one is it?
I think a little bit of both, but more so about how he cut weight, right? So I
Yeah.
think he cut weight like a lot really quickly, and doing like doing something like that that would affect your body. You'll feel drained, and you can see in the first fight how he was. There was a photo of him. He was laying on the floor. That was very dramatic to see a fighter dealing with all
Because he
that and
was
then
he was
coming into the fight.
completely dehydrated. He was exhausted. He was
Yes.
tired. There's not enough. Yeah, it's almost as if it's like Badu Jack would say, like, if you put me in super middleweight, you have to cut my leg off. That's how much weight I have to cut in order to make it. And Chris in particular, you could tell the pace as Connor was picking it up more and more. He couldn't compete. He couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
It was hard, and even his shot had no pop in any particular sense. So that was, and it doesn't, stuff like that does not happen within 6 to 8 months of a rematch between the first and second fight. That's very abnormal. But hey, he signed up for it. He put it on the line. Both men fought well. Both men had big heart, and the better fighter on that particular night, considering the conditions, won at the end of it.
I agree with you what you're saying. If you, when it comes to weight cutting, or fighting at a catch weight and all this kind of stuff, it's a scientific, and also you have to have understanding how to do it. So guys like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, when they went up in weight, because I think Floyd Mayweather is six division, or is it five division champion, and legendary. Both of them are legendary fighters. Manny Pacquiao is eight division, the only fighter who's eight division champion. So when it comes to understanding weight cutting and moving up in weight, these guys understand the scientific, you know, um, understand the science behind this. Okay, so just to do this in coming closer to the fight, and no, it happens. And look at even Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, fought one guy, and then he went and fought Canelo Alvarez, right? And you might wonder what he's doing, but behind, he's going and sparring against heavier fighters, and his body is transforming. He's changing this, so there's a time frame that you need that. So I don't think Conor Ben had enough time, and that's what I mean. If you have chosen what you have chosen to get yourself into, that's your choice, right? And I know it's hard to judge a fighter when you say that, okay, his performance is not the same. Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with you. But Conor Ben, he put himself in this situation. As much as we like
Absolutely.
Conor Ben, right? But both fighters, Conor Ben, um, and what's his name? He fought
Chris
against
Eubank.
Chris
Chris
Eubank,
Eubank
right?
Jr. Yeah.
Both of them performed, I think, at their best. But I think Conor Ben, if he fight against Shakur Stevenson, that's gonna be a huge fight. Huge fight.
And he's
I
looking for
like.
a title fight. He's actually looking to get into the top ranked of title fights. So that should be really interesting. I look forward to that. I really do look forward to that
Yeah, 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 yeah,
because
yeah.
he can compete. He could. I do believe he has the skill set, the mindset, the heart, the stamina, and the strength to actually compete for a title. For sure. Especially with these guys.
This is gonna be a very tough fight. You know what?
Who?
Shakur
What's your final
Stevenson.
prediction? What's your prediction though to the fight?
I think Shakur Stevenson will win. It will go 12 rounds, and he will win the fight. And I'm not gonna say it's gonna be an easy fight, but I'm not counting Teofimo Lopez out. Teofimo Lopez can't even knock him out. Okay, what the statistics is showing from watching all the fights, I believe Teofimo Lopez is gonna be. He can even make it look boring. That's the thing about it, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, he can make it look boring, but I think Teofimo Lopez is not gonna give a chance because this is the fight is make or break. This fight is gonna make them bigger than what they are, right? They're gonna make it make it's gonna make them huge and potentially, going towards huge paydays. Because you see like a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis, you know, he makes millions of dollars, and whoever fights guys like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, they become multimillionaire because just the paycheck, right?
Absolutely. Well, we'll see. We will see
Yeah.
if that fight is going to live up to its expectations. I'm excited as well as you are.
Yeah.
I'm seriously looking forward to actually attending. And you know what? Post that fight, we should comment on it as well. Definitely the
Okay.
preparation and so forth. Last two topics we could talk about. One quickly, and the other one we can emphasize a little bit because I think we're almost out of time. But my point is, in terms of, I've noticed that Ryan Garcia plans to come back in a title fight versus a fighter named Mario Barrios. And this
Yeah.
is for the WBC welterweight title, which
Yeah.
is going to be scheduled on February 21st, 2026. Your quick thoughts on that fight.
Okay. With all due respect, Mario Barrio, uh, I have so much respect for any fighters for their achievement. So, but what happened is Ryan Garcia, he did not have the rematch against Rolly Romero.
When he
Instead,
got
he's
knocked down,
going,
that's true.
yeah, yeah, he lost to Rolly Romero in his last fight, Ryan Garcia, and before that, he was suspended for 1 year for PED against Devin
When he
Haney.
fought Devin Haney, that's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the heat Devin Haney took, it's crazy. And I don't understand why, if I don't care what it is, how a person got knocked out or knocked down. If someone was on PED, he's on PED. And
I
he
would
he was
agree.
suspended. He was suspended. Now he's coming back. He lost to Rolly Romero, and now he's fighting Mario Barrio. This fight is a make or break for Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia loses to Mario Barrio, his uh, that levels what he is right now, his popularity, everything. I think is gonna go down big time. It's gonna affect his career, big,
Do you
very big.
realize something? I agree with you.
Mhm.
And do you realize something interesting? Mario Barrios lost against Gervonta Davis via technical knockout in the 11th round in 2021 in Atlanta,
Yeah.
Georgia, where he lost the WBA super lightweight title. He drew, sorry, before he drew, he also, the following fight, he lost against Keith Thurman in a 12-round unanimous decision fight
And
in
his last
Nevada.
fight, and his last
Was
fight was
against
against Manny
Manny
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao, and he
Yeah.
drew. But he retained his WBC welterweight title that he actually won when it was particularly vacant, apparently, against Ugas, who is the person who supposedly retired Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Yordenis Ugas. And that was in
Hmm.
2023. He won the vacant WBC interim welterweight title. And then he retained it against Fabian Maidana. He won a 12 unanimous decision round fight in Nevada in the T-Mobile Arena. That was in 2024. And then he drew with a gentleman named Abel Ramos in November 15, 2024, in the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, United States, where he retained the WBC welterweight title. And he went through all these fighters, and he could not beat Manny Pacquiao when they fought in
Yeah.
July 19th, 2025 in Nevada.
Now, let me
Interesting.
tell you something.
Go
Let me tell
ahead.
you something. This
Okay.
is going to be very interesting.
All right. Go ahead.
What I'm hearing, rumors, that Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Pitbull. So
The musician?
no, 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 no. The boxer.
Who's Pitbull? If you can tell me.
Um, okay, so just if you just do a little Google search, you will see who is Pitbull. Just
Let's check the gentleman out.
Tank Davis already fought him, knocked him out.
Oh, hold on a second. Pitbull box. Okay. Isaac Cruz.
That's right. Yeah,
He looks like a beast, my friend.
yeah. They call him Mini Tyson, right? So
Is he 5'4"?
yeah. So
Okay.
Pitbull, okay. Isaac Cruz, Pitbull. He fought against very interesting Rolly Romero recently, and it was a draw, controversial draw. And Manny Pacquiao has been trying to fight with Mario Barrio, but he couldn't fight him. Um, so unfortunately, so Pacquiao is looking for a fight for a while now, and the
Uh,
rumor is he
yeah.
might be fighting with Pitbull. That's the rumor.
So Pacquiao may fight. Okay, because you know the Pacquiao drew with Mario Barrio. He
Yeah, it
actually
was a
drew with
draw.
him.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a draw. And you're telling me
yeah,
that Pitbull basically fought Gervonta Davis, correct?
yeah. And
L-
Tank knocked him out.
Actually, it was a unanimous decision.
Yeah, I think there was Tank. There was a knockdown, right? In the
Probably a
fight.
knockdown. Most likely
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
knockdown.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
So
it's fine.
it was a unanimous decision against Isaac Cruz.
Yep, yep.
Okay,
But
okay,
this
okay.
this young gent, he does look like a pit bull. He looks like a one tough beast of a fighter. So we'll see what will happen. We will see what will happen. And Rolly, I wonder when is
You've
his
seen
next
Tank
fight?
fight, right? You've seen Tank fight before, right?
Of course, against Ryan, I've seen him fight. I've seen
Yeah, there you
Tank
go. Yeah.
fight.
No, I just wanted to make sure you know who I'm talking about. So it's cool. Okay.
Gervonta,
Now,
absolutely,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So moving forward, there's a lot of interesting fights are happening, and the outcomes going to affect the also moving forward in the rankings in boxing, especially right now. Terence Crawford, retiring, it has
Retired.
put left the whole boxing. You can say there's the super middleweight just all over the place. So those belts became vacant, and it's going to be very interesting to see moving forward what's going to happen.
I agree. Last topic of the day is Deontay Wilder versus actually the champion. Oleksandr Usyk wants to fight Deontay Wilder. Do you think that fight is going to happen? And what could we expect?
You know, um, I found out that Usyk wanted to fight with Deontay Wilder since 2022, right?
I remember
But
that. I remember
yeah,
that.
but this is more of a legacy fight for Usyk, Alexander Usyk, than and he deserves that. Look at all the fights, and since he came to the heavyweight division, he has
He
not
hasn't
ducked
ducked
anyone.
anybody. He
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah,
ducked anyone. That's the
yeah.
truth about it.
And he just went through the division like a bulldozer, right? And that's just the
Right.
best word to use, right? So a fight with Deontay Wilder is a excellent, amazing, phenomenal payday for Deontay Wilder. At the same time, it's an opportunity for Deontay Wilder to prove something, just like Tyson Fury when he lost all that weight and came and beat Deontay Wilder. So can Deontay Wilder do something similar?
We will see, kind sir. I predict two things. If Usyk gets caught, he's in trouble. God knows how, if he could take it, if he cannot take it, if he can get up or not. But Usyk's movement and his southpaw style is going to be overwhelming for Mr. Deontay Wilder unless he learns to
You know
bob
what?
and weave and stick it away, you could say.
You know what? I don't know if you're aware, Deontay Wilder had a lot of personal situations
Oh
that
yeah,
happened
yeah.
in in
I
his
read
few
into
fights.
that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the man's personal issues. That's not. I don't do that. But
None
I
of us
think,
do.
yeah, coming into the boxing matches, it really affected him mentally, and I can see his performance level. No, no, no. You know, Deontay Wilder had all those fights with Tyson Fury. I don't think fighters can be, that kind of fights and coming back, physically and mentally. You might not be the same fighter anymore.
It took
And
something out of him. It really did take something because when he
yeah,
got knocked down by Zhili Zhang, when he lost to Joseph Parker, well, Joseph Parker actually was the better fighter, but to be knocked out like that against Zhili Zhang in the early fifth, that surprised me because Deontay has faced people who could punch, but
yeah,
yeah, it took something out of both fighters, I would say.
yeah. But I think Deontay Wilder, also his, he was working with Malik Scott, even though the relationship is great. Um, but I think there was Malik Scott did help motivate
Deontay.
Deontay Wilder, but he needed that style of Kronk boxing, style of fight, being a fighter, because this is just my personal opinion, with all due respect, because Tyson Fury, the kind of fighter Deontay Wilder, the kind of fighter he is, um, he's explosive, unorthodox, one of the biggest knockout ratio in boxing, and he started boxing late. People talk about he's not a good boxer, but I would say I respect any fighter who became a world champion, especially of the knockout ratio and what he has accomplished in the sport of boxing. Now, saying that, you know, um, Wilder, his achievement has to do with also his heart, right? And I think also, with his personal problems and everything he had, and then all the fights with Tyson Fury. Now, years are passing. Is he mentally, physically the same guy still?
I would say he's not because of the punishment and the wars that he had with Tyson Fury. I would say after the Zhili Zhang fight, something was taken away from him. The Joseph Parker fight was not an easy fight at all, and don't forget he turned 40. So at one
Mm,
point, that accumulation of punishment and exhaustion, and we're not even talking about sparring sessions, can take a toll on the body. I think if it's not a big mass title fight, such as against Usyk, or a farewell fight just to cement his legacy, I think for the sake of his own safety and to focus on his personal challenges, it would benefit him well to retire at the current time. And if possible, that he had the ignition and the rest and the preparation to fight beyond that, that is his choice at the end of the day. But you cannot deny that a fighter to a certain extent that dealt with so much punishment
yeah.
cannot be the same fighter today.
And you saying that, I want to say something. People who understands boxing and knows the IQ and the skill level of Tyson Fury, I personally believe uh, a Tyson Fury at his peak would have beat Usyk. Of course, vice versa. Both fighters are amazing fighters. Because the downfall of Tyson Fury was when he fought against Francis.
Ngannou.
What's his name? Yes, Francis Ngannou. I was really shocked, completely shocked. It's not that Francis, with all due respect, it's not that Francis Ngannou, who come from MMA, the skill level will be totally different fighting against somebody who's a top fighter, number one fighter in the heavyweight division. And the way Tyson Fury fought, there was something not there. Then he goes and fights against Usyk, two fights. If he can't beat and Francis, how he's gonna beat Usyk? Just I want to look into that perspective.
But
You
there
understand?
were rumors. But there were rumors. To your notion. there were
Mhm.
rumors saying that Tyson didn't even train that well for
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou. So that's something to consider as well. So
Okay.
and let's remember one thing. Josh, when he faced Francis, was well refined and prepared and ready to go.
Yeah.
And to me, Josh is a great fighter, but Tyson
You
Fury's
talking about
skill
Anthony
set,
Joshua?
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Because Tyson
Mm.
Fury, to me, his skill set expands more than Anthony Joshua's skill set. I think Anthony is has harder punches, speed, more athleticism, but when it comes to the box of skill sets, Tyson has more options. But it
Yeah.
really shook me that he had to go 12 rounds on a very controversial decision against a beast such as Francis.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we
And
can
you
conclude that.
have
Yeah,
you have to respect Francis for coming into
stepping
boxing
in.
and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, stepping in and and a fighter is a fighter because that's more any combat sport it's about heart. So
I
at the
agree.
end of the day, he has heart.
I agree.
Yeah, this we will do these podcasts more more and speak about more upcoming fights. I think
For sure.
we're speaking about the month of January now, and
Yeah.
this two upcoming fights, and if necessary, we'll come back and we'll talk about more
As
fights.
well as as well as post fights, not just upcoming.
So yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yeah.
absolutely. All right. Ali, always always a pleasure. Great discussions, and looking forward to the next one. Inshallah.
Okay. All right. You take care. Huh?
God bless you, my friend. All the
Okay. You
best.
too, brother.